What up? How's it going?
Oh, we're here. We're here.
We're here. It's been a couple weeks.
Been a couple weeks.
Yeah, man, couple busy weeks. You know, we were away for my bachelor party, and then there was still recovery, so we said, "Screw it, let's take a week off." And then that last week, well, other stuff happened and family emergencies, and kind of took away from last week. So here we are, the biggest break ever.
Yeah, totally.
What were you just tapping on?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
I really want to know. It was loud.
Don't worry about it.
Do you have a
Secrets.
cowbell?
No.
Oh,
Cowbells are
disappointing.
old.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
this new?
No. Maybe. Maybe new for somebody else. Who knows?
Oh, who knows?
Who knows?
Interesting. Man, it has been a couple of weeks, and you know it's funny. I felt like there was a period of time where there wasn't like a lot happening in the movies and television realm, and then I think I messaged you like yesterday or the day before, and I was just like, "So there's a lot of new content coming out right now. A lot of new movies being announced or trailers coming out. New movies about to release. We're heading into the summer blockbuster, time frame. The extended summer blockbuster time frame." Man, lot going on. What's going on with you though? Before we dive in, what's new with Alex?
Nothing.
And that's a recap.
Yeah. Nothing. Just work and life,
Oh yeah.
And life is sleep. Sleep,
Ooh.
work, sleep. Sleep, work. Work, sleep.
Work, sleep. What have you been watching, Alex? Is Survivor still going on? Let's get an update on Survivor.
We can't talk about Survivor.
Why? What's going on in Survivor?
We can't talk about it. It's happening right now. The finale's right now, and I'm skipping it for you.
Wow.
You better be happy.
I mean, it just goes to show how important Survivor is, which it really isn't very important.
Oh, it's very important. I almost said not to do it, but then that'd have been 3 weeks, and I'm better than that.
Oh man. Did you notice anything different about my setup this week, Alex?
That Survivor's not playing on the background? I don't know.
That's not different of my setup.
Well, that's not really a transition that one tends to change.
Yeah? You didn't notice?
Yeah, I didn't care. So
got a new mic.
Yeah.
Been looking at these mics for a while.
Yeah. It's a microphone. You sound the exact same, so it's on you. That's on you. You know it. If you just
I will tell you, I know for a fact it sounds different because I went and listened to our old recordings, and I recorded something before we did this, and I can hear the difference.
Yeah, because you wanted to hear a difference.
so
you're expecting to hear a difference. You're going to hear a difference.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
well, indeed. I actually have a practical use for a second mic. This one can be connected via USB directly to another computer, and I wanted that for my work as well. So this one's going to be more likely kept for my work, and then I'll go back to using my good old podcasting mic we've been using from the beginning of this podcast.
You have a Yeti mic that just sits in my living room, right?
Yeah, but that's for when we do multiple people there, Alex. I had a gift card. I think I mentioned a month ago. This was a long time ago, probably in February. I won a gift card on social media of all places. I just commented like you do on Instagram sometimes, and they're like, "Oh, you just comment whatever, and you could win something." And you never win anything. You never do. And then all of a sudden, I just get contacted. I'm like, "Hey, you won $200 gift card for Canada Computers." I'm like, "Well, that's cool." And then it took a month and a half for me to get the gift card.
Yeah.
So yeah, went and treated myself. Been looking at this guy for a while.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. It's in the past. Is that what they say? Is that what the monkey says? It's in the past. The past can't hurt you.
Oh. Do tell.
I don't know. It's Lion King.
Oh.
Get with your quips and your come on.
Are you talking about Rafiki?
Sure. Is
Oh boy.
Rafiki a girl or is it a man? No, that's the real question.
Um, I always assumed Rafiki the baboon was a male. That was my assumption, but I could be wrong.
It's a female in the stage production. You never know.
Really?
Anyways, while we were gone, we saw Doctor Strange 2. Is it just Doctor Strange into the
Yes.
multiverse? Madness of the multiverse?
Madness of the multiverse.
Multiverses and
Multiverse of
madnesses?
madness. There we go. Got there eventually.
Some strangest of multiverses madnesses?
Stranger Things?
No.
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 No?
I'm sure they're in it. Maybe. Who knows?
Oh. I mean, there's many a multiverse.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Is there multiple multiverses, or is it just there's the multiverse, which is made up of many universes?
Above my pay grade. Anyways, that's too many thoughts. That's like a thought inside of a thought inside of another thought.
All right, let's go back a couple of weeks. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness came out. We went and saw it. You saw it opening night. I saw it the Friday opening night because there's 2 opening nights now for every movie. I mean, there always has been. Well, we know that Alex doesn't like to go first when it comes to reviews, so I guess I'll just start by default.
Well, it's about time you learned. It's been a year and a half, so figure it out.
I mean, I'm just trying to be polite, Alex. I like to give you the opportunity to go first, regardless of your decision making.
No, that's not how this works. Everyone knows this dynamic. I gotta have the last hurrahs.
The grumpy Alex effect.
Wow, that's rude.
Grumpy gonna grump. All right, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness review. We're going back 2 weeks here, so forgive me if I don't remember everything. First thing that comes to mind, the CGI was not great in this movie. It felt like a lot of what we've been seeing on Disney Plus in terms of the Marvel stuff, which when it comes to the full feature films, you kind of expect a leg up there, and we didn't quite get that. I have a lot of empathy for visual effects people these days because I've been watching the Corridor Crew and their cast and all the stuff they talk about. And, you know, you start to learn a little bit more about that industry and all the pressures and things that they go under. Regardless of all of that, I'm not blaming the VFX artists. I'm just saying how it is. The VFX in this movie were not up to snuff. They did not meet my expectations for Marvel films at this point. But I digress. The movie was okay. It was enjoyable. It was funny. It was a little bit weird, and it took me a while to remember that it was directed by Sam Raimi. And once you kind of clued into that, it started to all make sense as to why things were playing out the way they were, why we were getting some of those weird jump cuts. Bruce Campbell makes an appearance, which is like the signature of any Sam Raimi film, is to have Bruce Campbell in it in some capacity. I was disappointed in Wanda's arc. Here's this character that we watched, you know, go through her trials and tribulations throughout the WandaVision show. And you'd like to believe at the end of that, she came out of it stronger for it, right? She learned, she dealt with that adversity. Here's a character we've loved watching all the way back to Avengers Age of Ultron. And now we're all the way here, several movies and a television show later. And her character is, and I mean, it's 2 weeks in, so how much am I spoiling it for anybody watching this? Her character's the villain. She just becomes the villain. It was like the most Game of Thrones Daenerys path that we could have expected. Like they did the same thing. Take this character that you love and care about and make them into the villain. Basically give them superpowers, and like all females who end up with a lot of power. Again, we saw it with X-Men, with what's her name? Wolverine's in love with her. I'm really struggling right now. Jean Grey. She becomes the Phoenix and goes evil, and it just happens time and time again. It feels a little bit sexist. It feels a little bit overplayed at this point. It would be nice to see a woman who gains a ton of power and is able to like handle it and be an awesome star. Anyway, that was disappointing. We saw the end for some characters, and yeah, I mean, that's the best like recap I can give. That's like my, you know, pieces that have stuck with me since seeing this movie. So before I give a score, though, Alex, what are your thoughts on the movie? What's your bits and pieces you'd like to throw out there? Comments, if you will.
It was meh, but that's it. That's it. It was just a meh film. That's all it was. It was a film. But I mean, to the point of where the whole Wanda thing, we weren't seeing Wanda. Wanda died at the end of WandaVision. We see that. We see that happen. When the Scarlet Witch gets born, we see that happen. That's the idea of it. That was the whole idea of WandaVision, was to bring in the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
And if you watch that, and that's why you see at that end credit scene, when she's using the Darkhold or whatever it's called, that stuff like you see it with Agnes. It encrypts your mind. It destroys you. Agnes wasn't strong enough to control it.
Sure.
Scarlet Witch. So Wanda had to become the Scarlet Witch to control it. She was born to be the Scarlet Witch in the end. But and then every lore and everything in Marvel, and they say it in this movie, is that the Scarlet Witch was always determined to be the strongest and deadliest creature to be created.
Yeah.
And you know, and it wasn't, I don't think it was sexist in any way that that she was that way. I mean, I think you have to look at it at a point of view that, you know, this character arc she was a lead. She was a lead for a whole show of her own, and she became a villain at the same time. She was able to do those two things. They really utilized her a lot, and it pissed me off because I hate her. So,
you hate Wanda?
I hate the character. It's just, until like even in this movie, it was very boring. It was just passe. Like, I didn't like her. I didn't enjoy her. She kind of just was a whiny little person who had all this strength and power that, I understand she was supposed to be a teenager for most of it, even though they portrayed her as an adult most of the time.
Yeah.
Which was really annoying. But because that's what was so confusing. She acted like a teenager, but would present it as an adult, and it really bothered me. And I think that's really where it came from. When Scarlet Witch came around, she was an adult, and she finally figured out what she wanted. She wanted her family that doesn't exist.
Sure.
So
yeah, it's just, her whole story is very tragic, right? And like,
and I
heard you say whiny, but it's over the top tragic, right? Like, you know, her upbringing, born into war. The first movie that we see her in, her brother gets murdered. She moves on from there. Her first love destroyed after she destroyed. Like, she had to destroy him. Just
well, I think that's the idea, is that when they announced that they were bringing Wanda Maximoff into it to become, and she always becomes Scarlet Witch in the comics, that this was going to be the end.
Sure.
End game. Was always going to be, the final point of it was becoming Scarlet Witch and becoming this creature that is unstoppable. And like, and if you look at the credits, like at the end of the movie, is she dead? We don't know. Because if you look,
it felt pretty definitive, like how it all went down, right?
Yeah, but there's this big, that big blurb of red. You can signifies that it's the signal of power disappearing. But there's a few things. One, it's Marvel. Nobody ever fucking dies in this fucking universe.
I mean, in this universe they die, but in the multiverse they still live.
Even in this universe, because they saved that one Loki from that universe to be. Anyways, that's not the fucking point. Nobody dies. Death means nothing. It's absolute garbage. 2, you see her in WandaVision be able to just disappear. Like, she could just phase herself out of nowhere.
True. Yeah.
So how do we know? Like, she could have like transformed and be like, oh, I'm going to go to a different universe now and just kind of live my life pleasantly or something stupid. I don't know. But yeah, and it was, the movie itself. It was like, it was a movie. Like I said, it wasn't great. There wasn't anything that makes me want to go watch it again.
Yeah.
I was really excited for America Chavez, and they didn't really use her to her full potential.
I mean, it was like, it's a Doctor Strange movie, and it was kind of her introduction, right?
The whole movie was rushed, because if you look at right out the gate, they barely even have an opening title sequence. like a credit scene at all, opening
Well,
credit
they jump
scene.
right in. Yeah.
Like there's nothing. They just right into the film, right into
Yeah.
the storyline. Like there's not even a passe building up anything. It's right into it.
Yeah.
And I get it, but it also pissed me off because that means they're rushing through this completely. And that's how I felt through that whole movie. It just felt, we got to get to the next scene. We got to get to the next scene. We got to get to the next part. We got to get to the next part. There's no point to just slow it down and let it passe. Like when the Illuminati show up, like it's just there and then it's done. Like
Sure.
that is such an epic group of people that it doesn't let you just flow through it. Like it doesn't let you absorb it at all. And maybe I understand that's the point, but
Yeah.
also like that was one of your biggest selling points, and it was literally about, I think that scene lasts about 5 minutes.
Sure.
That was one of the biggest selling points in that movie, and it lasts 5 minutes.
Yeah. They're all wiped out very, very quickly. And I mean, like the biggest hurrah I in my theater anyway, the biggest hurrah that I heard was when John Krasinski is
And then I
revealed as
called
Mr.
that
Fantastic.
months ago.
But like regardless,
Wait, everyone re-listen back. I called that months ago. I just told you it was gonna happen.
He like shows up on the screen, bam! Everybody's like cheering. They're super excited, like more than Xavier.
Well, Xavier's
more
kind
than
of like,
Patrick
we knew that was
rolling out.
happening though. That's kind of thing though. We knew
Sure.
Xavier was gonna be there.
Yeah, going back to your point though, like we got Captain Carter, which straight out of and let's jump into the what if stuff. In the trailer they make you think that we're getting the Doctor Strange, the one that gains all the power, all this stuff. We're led to believe that's the one we're getting. You get the quote in the trailer, things just got a little out of hand, not the Doctor Strange we meet in the movie. In fact, we see our Doctor Strange from our universe using some of the techniques that you see this crazy Doctor Strange from the What If utilize. And it's just kind of like, man, like they really, I feel like they missed an awesome opportunity to.
Well, there was the whole Illuminati thing they missed out. Well, first things first, they brought in Black Bolt, which was, nobody cares about Black Bolt. Nobody cared about the series that he was from, anyways. And he's from Inhumans, if you didn't know that. But nobody was going to know who he was unless you watched Inhumans. Yeah. And I didn't know who he was when I watched it. I had to go back and figure out who the fuck he was. And now I realized who he was. And I was like, oh shit. And they used the same actor from the TV show to do it. So that was cool. I mean, that was just, I think, a throwback to see if people want the Inhumans. No one cares. Nobody cared about the Inhumans. You already have basically the Inhumans. They're called the X-Men. So it doesn't really matter. And then you have, you had Captain Carter, which they spoiled themselves in the movie and the trailers, in commercial spots. Then you got, like, obviously, what's his face from the first movie? The black guy. I can't remember his name. Who doesn't die or does die? I don't remember.
They all die. I
don't remember what happens to him. He kind of just disappears.
He does leave him in the kind of like in that pit, right? After he escapes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he just disappears.
Yeah.
Then you have obviously Captain Marvel with Moran Rambeau or whatever her name is, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But also pointless. And then you have Mr. Invisible, Reed, Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And then what's his race? Reed, Mr. But then there's like, oh, there's that 6th seat there. Yeah, it was the Doctor Strange seat that the Doctor Strange was killed from.
Yeah.
And this thing is like, they kept building up fucking Mr. Fantastic as the smartest man on earth, and then he dies in 5 seconds too. Wanda Witch. So Wanda Witch is what I'm gonna call her now.
Wanda Witch.
That's not better. WW. That's what we're gonna go with. The WW. That's what she's called now. And we don't even know she's dead. So that's the whole thing. And then like the whole plot point about like Wong like not wanting her to sacrifice somebody, but then he tells Doctor Strange to take her power. There's a lot of mixed, like, makes no sense in
that.
It just like there was a lot of
on one hand, I appreciate that the Doctor Who you see the opening sequence from another universe he's still like at his core, like kind of the same Doctor Strange or these guys from protectors of the realm, right?
Yeah.
And so I do appreciate that there was consistency there, but it also just feels out of character for them to take a life to save lives. Like it just like
Not for
part
that one.
was
For
really
not for
odd.
Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange would have done that for anyone, and he would have done that before he lost the time zone too. He would have done anything to protect it, and he did.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
He killed half the universe to let it happen, to play
yeah.
out the way it had to.
That's true.
And he let out Tony die the way he had to. Anyways,
Yeah,
right?
you're
So,
right.
but the thing is, what bothered me is that's just
But to
like
see him
how
take somebody's
quickly.
power, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, like he's like that Doctor Strange wanted to take his power to save the universe. It was
Mhm.
the only way he thought.
Yeah,
But then this Doctor Strange is like, no, I've learned from what the mistakes from the last one from Tony
yeah.
Stark and all that stuff. There's got to be a better way. And then Wong agrees with him, and then that's why they start
Mhm.
protecting America. And
But
then,
then Wong flips the script.
yeah, at the end, he's just like, just take her power, do it. And I'm like, what the fuck? And how in your face? I mean, America Chavez has always been that way, but how in your face were they trying to push America into people's faces? Not the character, the country. Like
Yeah.
her power is a star, like it's a star-shaped universe, and like and then you see like her colors are all ribbony and stuff like that. I'm like,
Yep.
that's hilarious, and they just
Yep.
kept calling her America. Anyways, but yeah, no, it was a good nothing film. If you, like I said, the first Doctor Strange we talked about before we watched it was not a great movie either. So, it was hard to
Yeah, I mean,
watch.
like,
It was hard to watch again. Like it was just
it's
like hard
been
to
a while since I
follow.
watched it,
And then
but yeah.
this one's easier to follow, but it again rushed. They clearly, I
Mhm.
understand they were shot during a pandemic and everything had to
Yeah.
kind of move faster, but holy shit, did they pack a lot of nothing into a short amount of time? Like nothing happened. I don't know what happened in that film. If somebody can literally tell me, other than the fact that no, it didn't even happen because they go back into the dark universe at the end fucking mid credit scene, and then they still have to fight off the fucking demons. Like what happened? Nothing. Oh, he gets another third eye because now it's implied that he still has a part of the dark hole in him. And it's like,
Mhm.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think what happened is we got a very minuscule amount of character development for Doctor Strange. Very minuscule, like very small.
Yeah.
We see his powers go to like next levels. Like we see him really like amp up the wizardry side of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like his character progression, like I just feel like he's moving on from this universe in many ways. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
as like Wanda kind of just feels like she's done, and they just kind of use this movie as like a jumping off springboard for America Chavez. So like, yeah, it's
Well, yeah. This is like I said, this is them retrying to getting rid of all the old people and bringing new people in. I hope that's what they
yeah,
keep doing. I'm
yeah,
done with Wanda. I'm Doctor Strange is still slightly newer to the life. He's only had the one film. He was only in the one real in the Avengers, and then
yeah,
his second film.
yeah.
So he has another time to do another one, and clearly they're going to. Because in the credits it says Doctor Strange will be back. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. So we'll see. And we'll see what they do with Chavez. She looks like she's like training to be a wizard, so fucking know. We know that there's a whole love situation coming with her, and I think they said what's her face
Hawk Girl,
from Hawkeye,
the new Hawkeye.
something, yeah.
Uh,
Kate Bishop.
yeah.
What am I doing in your house, Kate Bishop? That one. Oh, this is
All right.
crazy.
Well, enough of our conversation about this Doctor Strange. Let's get down to scores. I think we messaged each other it after the movie, but I'm starting to forget what I said it was. But I think I ended up around a 7.
Yeah, it was 6.9.
Yeah, I was like a 7.1, I want to say. So we found ourselves the It Is What It Is official score, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
There you
Or
go.
don't. And if you think it was a big pile of poo, you let us know.
We got a few more Marvel-y things out now that we can talk about super quick. So there's a new Miss Marvel trailer. Have you seen it? It came out this week.
No, probably not. No, I have not.
It just kind of gives you a little bit more on kind of what the tone of this show is going to be. Clearly, this character, Miss Marvel, is absolutely obsessed with Captain Marvel. In fact, she like dresses as her, and like her friend comments on that, basically saying like you're like, aren't you going to piss off Captain Marvel for like taking her image, kind of idea. Yeah, you just get a little bit more of an idea of who her character is, which is it's cool. Yeah, it's all right. It's not too bad. We found out that the full Loki cast will be returning to season 2, much to Alex's delight. Everyone's returning.
Boo.
And there's a chance we might even see this Loki variant make an appearance in Thor. We'll see.
Cool.
Especially if this is the end of Thor, which is coming out. When is Thor's release date?
On July 23rd, probably.
July 23rd?
I don't know, probably.
Love and Thunder. Thor Love and Thunder is out July 8th.
Ah, it was close.
All right. Well, we have a new trailer out for that as well. We get to see a lot more of Natalie Portman, Jane Foster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We see a lot more of her in it, and like her interactions with Thor throughout it. And we get some fun commentary from Valkyrie. We see the villain finally, Christian Bale's character, Gore the God Butcher, in the trailer. He looks really cool. Like, I really like how they did up his character look, and how they film the scenes with him in black and white. Like, I thought that was a really cool touch.
Yeah, I love to see what they do with the film. I mean,
has it been confirmed that this is the last Thor, like with Chris Hemsworth Thor?
No,
because it feels like that's where they're going. It does feel
well,
like
if they don't kill him in this movie, then I don't fucking know.
Well, like what else?
Like, what's the point of bringing in Gore the God Killer if you're not going to kill God? I understand the fact of the plot is that he is trying to kill them, and then he goes to Zeus to help, or either Zeus asks him for help some sort of way. And yeah, because he's clearly, from what I get from the trailer, is that he's clearly hunting Jane's character, and Jane shows up and tries to, ask for his help eventually.
Okay.
Or vice versa. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
And or something's amiss, and they get together, and then they find out that this person's killing gods and stuff. Because the way we're supposed to see it, people are seeing from the trailer, is that we're going to see what is it called? I don't know. I've never heard of it before, but it's called like the Academy of Gods, or a group of gods. I forgot what they're called, but it's all the gods in a group together. That's no. That's where they would be. But like, if you look at Zeus's planet there, it has like buildings of every culture, of every god, of every culture there. So like, which there in the comic books, there is all the gods are work together, and they're called something. I just forgot something of gods, and Zeus and Odin are in charge, but with Odin gone now, so it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So obviously, clearly, he's power hungry from the trailer.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. We'll see where it goes from there. I guarantee this will be the end of Chris Hemsworth's Thor.
It would make sense. Like, it's a fitting end. Like, it kind of comes full circle. We get Jane Foster back. You can kind of tie up their story finally in this movie. It feels like the right time for him to move on. Like, we're getting past all these phase 1 characters.
Yeah.
Let's give him his send off.
They may not kill him, but they might like retire him or something.
Yeah, he doesn't need to die, but like, again, like, factor that they've got Gore the God Butcher in there. It seems like the right time to end this story. So so that's another of the Marvel stuff going on. We got one more for you. There is a She-Hulk trailer out, and that's all I have to say about that. Did you notice I've prepared for She-Hulk specifically with my green glow on me tonight, Alex?
That's green?
Yeah.
It looks pretty not green to me. Well, it looks like a bright light. I don't know.
Maybe it's not coming through the feed very well.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody else might see it green, but I don't. Yeah, internally, there's lots of notes saying it's a whole mess all around.
It looked like the trailer
Even
felt
like behind the scenes,
very
like
messy.
people are saying it's a mess.
Honestly, the trailer felt like a joke watching it.
Well,
like
it is a comedy series. It's supposed to be a comedy series.
Yeah,
Finally.
yeah,
So we're gonna
yeah.
see how they're gonna pull that off.
What I'm most interested in finding out is, how did she become She-Hulk?
She's cousin. That's all you need to know. That's literally all I think they're gonna go with, is that he's his cousin. Her cousin.
But like
his cousin? His cousin.
Anyway, yeah, we'll find out. I don't even know when it is expected to release. Do you know the time frame?
August 17th, I think.
All right, yeah. So we got a few months until that. Check out the trailer. Let us know what you think about that. It looks, yeah, messy. So anyway, I think that's about all the Marvel updates we've got for y'all today. Y'all. But still on the Disney train, we are getting Kenobi episode 1 and 2 out this Friday. Only 3 weeks later than it was originally expected to be out. But
I thought it was like 3 days later than it was expected to be out.
No. Originally it was supposed to be like the week of May the 4th, and then they bumped it up to the end of May. But then gave us, and then it was supposed to be on the Wednesday, and then they bumped it up 2 days to the Friday, but decided they would give us episode 1 and 2. It's a whole thing. Doesn't really matter.
Because they want to compete with Stranger Things. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm stoked for this show. I think it looks absolutely awesome. I want to know what Kenobi was up to all these years. Should be cool. Again, we're getting Hayden Christensen back. I almost said Christian Bale as and then I almost said Batman. I need to move on. Clearly, guys in black capes, they're all the same, right?
What?
Well, Darth Vader and Batman both wear black capes.
Anyways, excusing your ignorance. Anyways, moving on. How dare you?
Bat Vader.
How
man
dare you? That's just rude.
I've offended Alex, and I
offended a whole community. I'm pretty sure. So.
2. I think I've offended 2 communities.
Yeah,
Marvel verse and the Star Wars verse.
Wow! You just insulted 3.
How did I get to 3?
Batman's not in Marvel, you idiot.
Oh, I have done 3 now. I'm just on a roll. Should I keep going?
Digging yourself a hole here.
Should I just keep going?
Wow. Wow.
I know I know sci-fi.
Oh my god, read a book or 2. Anyways. Where were we?
What else is out this week, Alex? Stranger Things season 4 part 1. Is this the final season? Have they confirmed? Yeah. Final season part 1 out this Friday. Then we get part 2 out early July, I want to say.
Something stupid like that.
Yeah.
No, I just give it to us all. Like, why? I understand you want to make money, but also fuck off. Because they put it in between 2 pay months, right, for people.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why they did it. But
yeah, that's a really good point. Something that's so like obviously like if you haven't been living under a rock, Netflix has been struggling more lately than they have in the past, and there's been a lot of talk of them both from the money standpoint and the money they've lost, well as the business decisions they're making, and the way they're using this recent financial hardship they've run into as like reason that they should make some of these like anti-consumer changes. But something that stood out for me today, I had to re-sign into Netflix on one of my devices, and like the way you sign into Netflix is still just a basic username and password. They are so far behind when it comes to like signing in on like set-top boxes, like every other provider, QR code, or like Disney does it fantastic. All you have to be is sign into the Disney app. You open up a Disney login page on an Xbox or on a PlayStation, Apple TV, you name it, and you just open the app on your phone, and it just automatically prompts you, oh, you're on the same network. You clearly want to sign into this. Like, how is it that Netflix, like, they still have this antiquated off mechanism? They've got this like terrible business practices, in my opinion. They're just all over the place. So, if they want to split up the show across 2 billing months, I don't really give a shit personally. But like, come on, like they deserve what's been coming to them. Let's put it that way.
Well, you could say that, or people could say they created the scene. Let the old people just be old.
But they were supposed to be the young ones that figured out all the problems of cable, and then they just became everything that they said they they were going to be against, right?
Money is money, man. Money will do the craziest things. The thing is, it's still there. The market here in North America may have dropped, but overseas it could still be fucking huge.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Disney Plus, they're also exploring a ad plan similar to what Netflix has been talking about, for like a lower tier plan. But what I like about what Disney said is they've come right out and said you will not get more than 4 minutes of advertisements per hour, which is actually like not bad if you're going to do this like lower tier plan that is partially funded through advertisements. Like 4 minutes, that's less than what you have to deal with on YouTube.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
True.
Yeah.
True. But that's that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. What we got going on?
We got some movies out this week. We got Top Gun Maverick. Are you going to go see it, Alex?
Probably, but not right away. I don't have time for that kind of shit.
It's been getting like quite the marketing push. Like they've been like, I think, what movie was it before? Was it before Doctor Strange, where there was like a 5-minute clip of the movie?
Yeah.
They're saying it's like, you're like, am I watching Top Gun tonight or am I watching Doctor Strange?
Like everyone's saying it's like an amazing movie. Like it's unreal. Yeah. Like it's like, and I've seen a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and like,
yeah,
and they made a lot of work into making it real.
Yes, which
they made the actors really do a lot of the work, like a lot.
Yeah,
they had to set up their own cameras. They had to set up their own when they're in the planes. They had to set up their own makeup. They had to do everything right to make it, because Tom Cruise made them do it that way.
I mean, like for everything that like Tom Cruise is like crazy, he produces pretty good movies, especially these past few.
He's got one thing that's crazy because it's not real. That's it. That's really it. That's all I gotta say. And that's the Scientology thing.
Yeah. Well,
it's not real.
We got another Tom Cruise trailer out this week as well. Mission Impossible 6, Dead Reckoning Part 1.
6? Are you sure it's only 6?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm fairly confident. It might be 7. Alex is looking that up, but while he looks it up, the one scene that stood out for me in the trailer above all else was the scene of Ethan running.
Yeah, look at
that. Or I should say Tom Cruise running. What, like, I turned to Jamie and I asked her after I put on the trailer, I was like, is it just me, or like are producers sitting in this room and they're talking about like the pre-production of this movie, and they're like, all right, let's talk about how we're going to do the Tom Cruise running scene for this Mission Impossible, and then one guy in the back's just like, why do we need that? And they're all just like, get out, like, what is this? Like,
this is 7.
It is 7. Okay, so Mission Impossible 7, Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Yeah.
Of course, we're getting Simon Pegg back. We're getting the rest of the Mission Impossible crew that we've had basically since, I want to say, Mission Impossible 3. Maybe they started in Ghost Protocol, and 4, I can't actually remember which one they first showed up in. I became a fan not after 4. Like 4 wasn't very good. 5 and 6 were quite excellent. So I'm looking forward to MI7. Alex?
You sure? I'll be there. I'll watch it before you. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, probably. Movies.
Um,
Movies.
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 Oh my god, movies. A couple other trailers out this week. Bros, we talked a little bit about. I saw the trailer last night and laughed a lot. So, well, Alex, you know more about Billy Eichner. Tell the fans who this guy is and why they should care about him.
He's funny. That's it. So, what else? He's funny. He's a funny guy. He's a
Well, like
funny
you
guy.
shared a couple clips. He's got what? It's Billy Eichner on the
I
street.
mean, if we gotta, then I will. I mean, like, oh my god, oh my god. If I have to,
do Play Pause Media fans care about Billy Eichner?
let me know if you could hear this.
It's Billy.
I'll let you. Yeah, I can hear it.
Who knows a thing or two about Christmas movies? The king of Christmas, Will Ferrell. We're about to hit the streets and give out dollars if people are a dollar. Who stars in Scrooged? Who stars in Scrooge?
I have
It's a movie
no
about Scrooge.
He was in Meatballs.
He was in
Another
Meatballs.
Another classic Christmas movie.
He was in Lost in Translation.
So what are they doing here? They're just
It's a-
asking people questions about.
Christmas movies. The king of Christmas, Will Ferrell. We're about to hit the streets and give out dollars if people agree with us about Christmas movies in the holiday season. Are you ready, Will? Nope. Here we go. Miss
People
for a dollar. Who
agree
stars
with
in
them.
Scrooge?
That's two
Yeah.
different things. They're asking her a question.
Oh,
That's the point. That's what's crazy about it.
Miss for a dollar. Name a Christmas movie. Go.
Bad Santa.
Yes, there you go.
Bad Santa?
Oh, yeah,
Bad
Santa.
Santa. Okay.
Billy Bob Thornton, you asshole. Sir, for a dollar. Who starred in Scrooge? Who starred in Scrooge?
This guy.
Who is
I'll
that?
stick with me.
What? Wow. Actually, it's Bill Murray, you twat. Sir, for a dollar. Which is the better Christmas movie?
Anyway, so this guy.
Hold on, there's no good one. This.
All right, Alex is looking for a specific scene. Let's see the specific
It's in the movie.
scene.
Scrooge. Yes.
He's so intense.
It's his real name.
I guess.
These stocks too are pretty
Merry
funny.
Christmas. Take your
Merry
take your
Christmas.
gift.
Merry.
God, what a little Christmas bitch. It's for a dollar. Who's the best in the movie Elf? Who's the best in the movie Elf?
I guess. We'll
Was-
say the elf.
Who's the elf?
What's his name?
What's his name? What's his name?
Buddy.
Buddy the Elf.
No, what's his real name?
In the movie.
What? You've never seen Elf?
I'm right here.
She's never seen Elf. Scrooge.
Whoa.
Scrooge. Merry Christmas.
Wait for it.
Merry Christmas. Hey, Happy Easter. Yes, for a dollar.
My hero.
Yo, what's a better Christmas movie, Elf or Scrooge?
Elf.
No, Scrooge.
So yeah, he does that. That's what Billy Eichner does. He does Billy on the Street. Well, now he's more famous. Now he doesn't
Sure.
do that stuff as much. He was in The Lion
Honestly,
King. He was,
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
fun stuff.
He is a funny guy, and this Bros trailer just cracked me up. It starts off with him podcasting, but like he's talking about like his real life and doing his job. And as he's like doing his job, he's like saying the same thing as he's saying it on the podcast. So they're cutting between like two different scenes, but it's like one consistent like dialogue that you're getting between both. And it just cracked me up. And this is the opening to this trailer, and it leads into basically it's a movie about gay people and how like life is different being a gay person, but in a very like dark comedic way. And it's like basically the story of his life trying to write a movie that's going to appeal to straight people about gay people. So it's a very like tongue in cheek, what's the term for that when you're speaking about yourself almost in the third person, but it's like, anyway, it looks funny.
Narrator?
Narrating? I don't know if that's the right word, but either way, looks hilarious. I'm definitely going to check it out when it comes out. I recommend everybody watch the trailer because it is funny. I think it's by the producers or the director of Neighbors, if I'm not mistaken.
He's in Neighbors.
Yeah, and Neighbors too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
If it was in Neighbors, he's gonna be in the next movie that the guy does.
Maybe.
It's just how it works.
Just how it is. It is what it is.
Some other trailers. We got 3,000 Years of Longing with Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton.
What a Nope, won't say that. No,
It looks like a non-Disney genie film.
yeah, it's a reversal racial movie film.
Yes. Which is basically what the latest Aladdin was as well. But
So
less
you're-
white people.
They made don't care anymore. No. Anyways,
Alex has to say can either be really interesting or really
well,
hard
you
to
ever
hear.
find that Tilda Swinton just keeps taking these characters from that are meant to be played by non-white people and just makes them into white people?
You think that's supposed to be it for this movie though?
I don't know. It's clearly not a ripoff of Aladdin, but it is a ripoff of Aladdin. Then she doesn't, it's the whole genie story, and there's more than just one Aladdin genie story. That's more than just Aladdin. But when you think genie, you think Aladdin. Then you think,
Yeah, but this genie does appear to be I think we're gonna see even from the trailer, you get the idea that you're gonna see a lot more of this genie's history, and the other people that he has served over his.
oh yeah, there's tons of those. There's
life.
X-Men,
Yeah.
not X-Men, X-Files. There's a whole episode about a
Yeah.
genie that's
Mhm.
rolled in a carpet. It's a whole thing. It's a magic carpet. It's kind of hilarious. I think it was X-Files. Yes, maybe.
Yes.
Anyways,
Jurassic
that
World
movie.
Dominion out June 9th. They're really pushing the marketing on that. It's funny when we got the first big trailer for Dominion and we got to see the original cast from Jurassic Park in it. I got really excited, and then they keep just shoving it down my throat, and I'm kind of a little over it now. So
I don't know what you're watching, but I haven't seen shit about it. So there you go.
Oh, really? I don't know. It's all over my
Maybe it's really telling
socials
you
and
you
everything.
need to see it.
Probably. Dinosaurs are awesome.
So, or I'm avoiding it. It's one or the other.
All right. Let's get to what I've been most excited to talk about tonight. So I watched the Chip and Dale movie that came out on Disney Plus. It's a brand new Chip and Dale movie. Don't know if there's more to the title or not. I actually just started it completely on a whim to put it on in the background, and it immediately grabbed my attention. And then I watched the whole thing and was completely absorbed by it. Have you seen it, Alex?
Yes.
Okay. Without me going any further, did you react similarly to how I reacted?
This movie was made for you.
Uh-huh.
Just you. When I'm watching this film, I'm like, Matt thinks this is the funniest fucking movie in the world. I
feel
know
like
it.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans in general would love this movie.
I
Or
can't
just
get
Andy
past.
Samberg fans.
Well, no, I think I would disagree, but because there's two different things. I think there's a lot more than Brooklyn Nine-Nine than just
Yeah, you're right.
Andy Samberg. But
He's a big.
I think John
Mulroney?
yeah, whatever the hell his name is. It's not Maroney, is it?
Maloney. John Maloney.
Mulaney. Anyways, Mulaney, that's it. John Mulaney. I hate it. I think he's annoying as all hell. He's done one good thing, and I think it's hilarious.
It's too much tuna.
Exactly. That was the only funniest thing I've ever seen him do. I've watched his stand-up, thought he was trash.
Yeah, I struggle with his stand-up. I have to agree.
I can't handle his voice. He comes off as an egotistical jackass, and he says he is. And then he does cocaine and hooks up with a girl, impregnates a girl that's not his wife. So there's a whole thing.
Wow.
That was funny. No, the story about that. I don't judge him for this. This is his life. People have demons, whatever. But it's a funny story. He goes to. It's funny to me. It's not necessarily funny. Call me a horrible human being. I don't care. He goes to rehab for his coke addiction, which he makes fun of all the time. Finds another celebrity in that rehab while he's married to his wife, impregnates that one, and then they break up. So now he's not with either of them, but he has kids with both of them.
This sounds like celebrityism to me.
It's hilarious. I think it's don't do drugs.
So you're saying the funniest part about John Mulaney isn't his stand-up, it's his life. His tragic life.
A product of his own making. Don't do drugs.
All right, let's come back to the movie. So Chip and Dale, the movie, instantly hooks me the moment
The
I
one
start
moment I thought in the movie, and this is kind of a spoiler, but it isn't.
Yep.
It's all the
Go for
Seth
it.
Rogen characters
Yes.
showing up, and I thought
All of
Matt
them.
would died. I would
Yeah,
just see him
I did.
dying in his chair.
I like fell over on my couch and I was just like dying of laughter because you've got what we got Bob, we got Pumbaa, we got
some mantis thing. I don't know.
the mantis thing from Kung Fu Panda. I have to ask, how did this movie get the rights to so many different characters from different companies and studios? And
Well, think about the movies you just said. Who owns all of those?
DreamWorks, I think. But I thought no, they don't. They're not all through DreamWorks.
No, the Lion King they own. They would
Disney
own
owns the Lion King.
Yeah, I guarantee they own. Don't they own Bob too? Monsters, whatever the fuck it's called.
Monsters vs. Aliens is a movie by DreamWorks and Paramount and Universal. Nothing to do with Disney. They had Shrek in there, which is DreamWorks. What is Kung Fu Panda? Kung Fu Panda.
This sounds like they're buying DreamWorks.
Kung Fu Panda is done by DreamWorks. Like,
They're
there's
buying-
a lot of DreamWorks stuff.
So
in
they're
there.
buying DreamWorks.
Are they?
It sounds like that. If they haven't already.
I'm looking it up. Is DreamWorks owned by Disney? No, both Universal Studios and DreamWorks are owned by the mega media conglomerate NBC Universal.
That's how they did it, because NBC was probably partnered with this movie because of Andy Samberg. And you probably had to get them back because he's got some crazy stuff with it. But I guarantee the other guys wouldn't care. I guarantee they wouldn't care that they were part of it.
It up. And Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers is a Walt Disney picture production.
Yeah,
completely.
Because they own Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Yeah.
But I guarantee nobody cared.
Yeah.
They probably called DreamWorks and all those guys like, "Hey, do you care?" And they're like, "No."
I guess I no matter what though, like it was like hilarious. The amount of characters in it. I loved that they did live action with all kinds of different animations. We had stop motion, we had cartoon, we had like more recent 3D type animation. They're just poking fun at all of the animated movies, all the animated tropes throughout the movie. They even call out like Jessica Rabbit at some point, which was like the first animated characters in a live action film. Absolutely, just like they crushed it. Like the animation that they did for all the different types of animations were just top notch. The comedy and like the poking fun at it all, hilarious. I loved it all the way through. Here's some of the cast. We had John Mulaney, Andy Samberg, as we already talked about, Will Arnett, Eric Bana, Keegan-Michael Key, Seth Rogen, J.K. Simmons. Like, talk about a lineup of voice actors.
All these male patriarchy characters.
Kiki Lane, who wasn't voice acting but starring.
Pretty sure that's the only like female character that's in a major role. They have what's her face from Rescue Rangers, but she's barely in it. What an animated world to be owned by them in misogynistic patriarchy.
Either way, love this movie. It was amazing. It was super funny. Go watch it
tried.
if you haven't. It was great.
It was something. It was something. If you're into that thing, it's something.
And animated movies. Is that what you're getting at?
No, I don't know. It felt weird. Felt dirty.
I don't know. Honestly, it was such a nice surprise for me when I just like was putting on something that I thought was going to be for Atlas, and it turned out it was for me.
Like specifically, it was made specifically for you. It wasn't made for anyone else but you. Like when their whole laser scene, like when they're not laser scene, when they're in that thing, I was like, "Oh, Matt's loving this right now." Matt is loving the scene right now.
Actually, there's one moment leading into that scene that drove me nuts, which is they jump into the machine as it's closing.
Yeah, well, what else are you gonna do? How else are you gonna set up a scary situation? oh, episode 319, what Mission and Chip Impossible, whatever the hell they call it. I'm like, Matt just died. Matt died right there.
I mean, I did watch Rescue Rangers growing up, so there
Chip
you go.
Impossible. Like,
There
I
you
know
go.
Matt was just like, that's the cleverest thing I've ever heard in my life.
But yeah, it was cool seeing all of these different characters across many years. Mostly 80s and 90s, I found were the bulk of them, but just the characters that we got, it was pretty cool. Anyway, that's all I got to talk about TV movies. That's a lot.
TV and movies.
Yeah.
TV
Yeah.
and movies. Survivor Series.
Survivor or Survivor Series?
Survivor. It's ending today.
Man.
But it's ending
Are you
today.
still in your pool or are you out?
Oh, I was out like 2 weeks ago. But
Is it just Steph's characters going up against each other at this point?
pretty much. I think, yeah, Steph still had 3 in it last time I was watching.
Wow.
And then she lost one. Was it last week? Yeah, she lost one last week. But so she said she had 2 out of the 5 that are there. So, and 2 of the 5 are pretty high up. Like, she has a good chance of winning it. Well, it's based off points, so she'll probably win it anyways. But God, I hate that show sometimes. I should have won it. I should have, but
Yeah.
you know,
But
This
you
one-
didn't, Alex. You
this
didn't.
one guy played too hard, and they all listened to him for some reason. And then he got kicked out the next week. So whatever. I guess it all comes forward.
Nice.
You should watch Star Trek if you don't care if you like TV shows. Star Trek Discovery is over now. Well, it's not over, but the season's over.
Yeah.
But it's on Crave. You should watch that. And then once you've done that, you should watch Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which is just starting up right now.
The only
Fair.
Star Trek I've ever watched was, well, I shouldn't say ever watched, but the only Star Trek that I ever cared about was like the J.J. Abrams films.
Yeah.
And I
So
know.
these ones, like Star Trek Discovery, when it was starting out, it was like $1.5 million an episode. Like, that's how
Wow.
much they put into it. And it looks fantastic. The first 2 seasons are great. The
Mhm.
third and fourth kind of got convoluted because they kind of gave this character, like the main character, an arc that I kind of think ruins it. But
Mhm.
that's just me personally. But I think they have to do that for TV stuff. Doesn't matter. Doesn't ruin it. It's just
Forced
like,
drama.
okay, kind of, yeah. They put her into her, like, the main character is a woman, and she gives her a love relationship that really pulls away from her independence and her strength that she was really driving on for the first 2 seasons. That's just my opinion. Anyways, and it really like her, and I get it for the next 2 seasons why they kind of put her in a relationship, because it strains her position of being a captain to doing this and all that stuff. Blah 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 blah. Anyways, Discovery's cool. It's like the first season. It's about it being beyond its time vessel. Like,
Yeah.
it's the same time when the U.S. Enterprise is still starting up.
Oh, okay.
So it starts then, and eventually, without spoiling anything, they go 300 years in the future. I won't explain how, why, what not. Strange New Worlds, that's just starting right now, probably 3 episodes in, is the U.S. Enterprise of the same time when this Discovery was there. They're literally the Strange New Worlds spin-off of Discovery, basically.
Yeah.
Because they interact with the Enterprise for a full season. So, so with Captain Pike and all that. So that's kind of cool. So it's kind of where the Enterprise, Strange New Worlds, is before Captain Kirk. It's like the story of Captain Pike. So it's kind of cool. So far, it's only been 3 episodes. And what else is on Crave? What else came out on TV in Canada? All these Canadians are loving the Shoresy TV show. It's a little, it's a little rough edges for some people. I think it's hilarious. Dave and I are going to quote the hell out of it at his wedding, and you're going to get mad. So it's going to be funny. Yeah. So, kids in the kids in the block. What the fuck it's called? Kids in the Hall.
Block?
Kids in the Hall has a new show on Prime TV.
Oh yeah.
For you Canadian comedy lovers. They all came back. They all came back to do it.
That's cool.
When the Superstore ended, the guy had time to go back to Kids in the Hall, so he might as well. So there's that. That's TV. That's all I got for TV. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. I don't have time.
Yeah. What is time?
Anyways, what else you got on the docket? Let's move this story along.
Not a whole lot. I'm pretty much tapped out. There's not much going on in the games realm. I think PlayStation Plus, the updates that we talked about a little while ago, are set to launch June 12th, somewhere around there. So for all of you PlayStation lovers who have been, looking from the sidelines at Xbox's Game Pass, being like, I don't need that. And then the moment that PlayStation announces they're doing it, you're like, I'm really excited for this. There you go. You're gonna get it. The initial launch library is like not like super strong, but I mean there's certainly a lot of titles there. And for people who haven't played like some of the bigger hits of the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 era so far, I think you'll be pretty happy with the selection. The one hit that I would say for PS Plus over Xbox right now is Xbox is doing a better job with their Game Pass of giving you like the big name titles, like all the first party titles you're getting on it. PlayStation is not taking the same route. They're being a little bit more reserved. They're saying, no, we still want you to buy the new games as they come out, but you will have the option to play them for a limited time, which is basically a demo.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense. I agree with it. I think that makes more sense.
To each their own. Whatever business model makes sense. PlayStation hasn't been hurting other than not being able to keep up with demand and producing as much as they would like. But clearly they are the more desirable.
That's not a problem that you don't want. You know what I mean? For a bit. Eventually, by next year, if they still have this problem, then they have a problem. But right now, keeping up with demand, it's not a bad thing. Because they're still not releasing games for the PS5 completely yet anyways. Like they're still doing the dual releases. Until they really cut off the PS4 and they still haven't been able to keep up with demand, then, hey, if the demand's there and people are wanting it and people are not getting mad that they can't get it, that's good publicity. Publicity? Anyways, it sucks, but it's also good for the company.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't work for Sony.
Different
business models. If Sony wants me to work for them, then,
You go and work for them?
No, probably not. Unless they give me free stuff and money.
Yep.
It has to kind of go both ways. I mean, I have a lot of pull, with all our fans.
Yes.
They're all switching from Xbox, to PlayStation because of me. So, just so you know.
I mean, I play them all, so it doesn't really matter to me. I will play games wherever you play games. I don't discriminate. I love all the gamers.
Yeah, it's just so much work.
Oh, there is one new game that I started playing. Not that important of a game. There is a new mobile racing kart game. It is called Warped Kart Racer. And you get to race around as characters such as Peter Griffin, characters from King of the Hill, characters from American Dad. There's one other group that I don't know as well. I'm just pulling it up right now. If I get into the level and I pick my character, so we got Solar Opposites characters, King of the Hill characters, Family Guy characters, and American Dad characters. It's basically like a Mario Kart style game, but for mobile. And I played a couple races and it's not terrible. I'd like to play it multiplayer with some people, but the initial tutorial was okay. It's a really cool graphics, and I love the the characters, they've got all their quips and quirks that they like to say. So you get to hear that as they're racing, which is pretty fun. So check that out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I've been Matt.
I've been Alex.
And that's right.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for listening, tuning in. Until next time. Peace out.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.